Listín Diario editorial for June 28th of 2022. They crossed the line. Beyond what is established by the immigration law, no entity, whether public or private, has the power to adapt the regulations to its own interest. That is why the agreement between the Association of Merchants and Industrialists of Santiago and the Haitian consulate in that city to establish an illegal mechanism for the regularization of the Haitian worker of its associated companies, which included the granting of visas for future workers to be hired. It is the foreign ministry that has the power, through its consulates, to manage the entry and stay permits for foreigners in the country, according to the categories and time of validity, without any consulate from another country interfering in that process. And what seemed to be the underlying intention of that unfortunate agreement was to recognize the Haitian consulate's ability to manage the documentation of citizens of that country who want to work in ours, and in addition, intervene in obtaining work visas for a year. The one that has to document Haitians is the Civil Registry Authority of that country. Neither the ACIS nor any Haitian consulate in the country can become involved in this process unilaterally, regardless of the will of the Dominican government and what is established by the immigration law. There was the serious mistake. If the Dominican government needs to authorize the entry of Haitian workers, it can do so directly with the Haitian government. In fact, both agreed to facilitate the work of identifying undocumented Haitians and to create a border card to authorize the temporary entry of those who possess their identity cards. But the process was damaged when 3 Haitian consulates applied a charge of $50 per capita, funds that nobody knows in which hands of the Haitian political class went, turning it into a lucrative business beyond the spirit of bilateral cooperation that encouraged that deal. By desisting the ACIS from this clearly illegal agreement, let it serve as an example so that other non-governmental entities do not invent by manipulating the immigration law for their own interest, stealing from the state one of its essential functions key to preserving national sovereignty. For Listín Diario, voiceover and translations by Indira Rodriguez.